What is going on YouTube? My name is Lucas and today we're going to be talking about ticker symbol HCMC, and this is an over-the-counter penny stock that is really expected to do a ton. I'm excited to provide this one to you guys. I really am. Obviously, again, I'm not the first YouTuber to talk about this by no means, and I'm definitely not the first person to find this stock. I am just beyond and thrilled to provide you content on this. And I'm going to take it a step further and I'm going to talk about outcomes, because many of you guys know exactly what this stock is about, what this penny stock is truly going through. And so I'm going to talk about the outcomes of what we may see come from, this lawsuit that we're seeing. Healthier Choices Management is the actual company. I'm beyond excited, guys. I'm really looking forward to providing content on this. So let's not waste any more time. If you are interested in HCMC, I suggest you stay tuned right after this. Before we dive in and see everything I have mapped out for this video, I ask that you guys smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, comment down below, and now it's time to get into the video. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, this stock is being talked about on a slew of platforms, whether it's Twitter, whether it's YouTube, whether it's StockTwits. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, and it is being talked about a ton. I mean, it's exciting to see really the hype that's coming around this stock, around this company, and really we're going to dive in and exactly why a lot of people are really hyping this thing up and getting involved with it. No question. I do want to remind you guys though that this is an over-the-counter penny stock and they can be very risky plays. So just make sure you guys are doing your homework, do your due diligence, make sure you understand what you're getting into before you pull that buy button, smash that buy button, whatever it is. Just make sure you guys are putting in the time and understanding what you're getting into. So we're going to jump right into this thing. Guys, you guys are aware of exactly what is going on with this stock. There's so many things out there that are talking about HCMC, Healthier Choices Management Group, that it's just unbelievable. I wanted to jump on this train because I'm beyond excited. I really want to take it a step further and discuss the outcomes that could potentially come from the lawsuit that is being involved with this company against Philip Morris. And we're going to talk about all that. So here we go. For those of you that do not know what Healthier Choices Management is, I'm going to give a brief summary just to cover and recap of exactly what this company is involved with. That way you're kind of aware of, what the lawsuit's kind of leading into. So here we go. Healthier Choices Management Corporation is a holding company focused on providing consumers with healthier daily choices with respect to nutrition and other lifestyle alternatives. The company currently operates 9 retail vape stores in the southeast region in the United States, through which it offers e-liquids, vaporizers, and related products. That is going to be one of the biggest pieces from this entire thing that you're going to have to understand, is that they are very involved with vaping devices, liquids, and everything that goes into that. So it continues and says the company also operates a natural market, a natural and organic grocery store, and it offers basically everything you can think of in a healthy option that a grocery store should offer. I mean, you're talking about all the natural choices, the nutrition, the bulk foods, the fresh, fruits and everything that come with that, seafood, deli, baked goods, dairy products, frozen food. I mean, the list goes on and on. So now we're going to dive in on why everyone is just jumping on this stock. And I'm going to hit on some things, I'm going to touch on some numbers, and I'm going to break it down and really talk about it from my perspective. I'm excited for this. So here we go. It says Healthier Choices Management today announced the filing of its patent infringement lawsuit. Obviously, it didn't happen today. I'm just providing the information from, obviously the article. And so it continues to say it's going to be against Philip Morris USA Inc. and Philip Morris Products SA in connection with their product known as the marketed as IQOS. The lawsuit was filed in the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia. The international law firm Cozen OConnor has been engaged to represent HCMC in this matter. Now, that's a significant piece. Cozen OConnor is a very well-known law firm, and they are very good at what they do when it comes to patent infringements and things like that. I decided to look them up, and I dove in a little bit, and guys, they would not have taken this situation, this case, this, I guess you could say, this lawsuit, if they didn't feel that they had at least an opportunity to get a settlement. And the reason I say that is just because you're putting a massive reputation online. Cozen OConnor is known for being very successful. They're known for doing some amazing things. They go out and get the best of the best that they possibly can, and it only makes sense. And you're going to see in this article the excitement the CEO of HCMC has when he tells you that Cozen OConnor is going to be taking this on. So like I said, just always keep that in the back of your mind. A company or a law firm like Cozen OConnor is not going to take on a case like this, especially against a multi-billion-dollar company, if they didn't feel that they had at least a shot at getting a settlement, in my opinion. There's nothing that states that. It's just my opinion, but that's my thoughts on that. So let's continue on. HCMC's lawsuit includes claims that Philip Morris is infringing HCMC's patent rights in connection with IQOS, an alternative tobacco product marked and sold by Philip Morris. Philip Morris claims that it currently is approaching 14 million users. 14 million users of its IQOS product. And I think that's probably a little bit more now that since this article has been written. So they're getting up there in numbers. They actually talked about this recently in a quarterly earnings and how they envision that their vape devices and their are going to be progressing into 2021 and beyond. So we're going to get into that. It says that the products have been reportedly invested over $3 billion in their smokeless tobacco products. $3 billion. Very, very interesting right there. That's a significant number. Philip Morris has been very open about their ongoing transition from traditional fully combustible cigarettes to their modified risk tobacco products, including the IQOS. And like I said, they hit on that, and they plan on that being a major piece moving forward, and they really are envisioning that they're going to make a ton of money off of that. It says Philip Morris IQOS product is currently the subject of 2 other patent infringement proceedings filed by R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company. One proceeding is before the International Trade Commission and seeks to stop the importation of IQOS. So as you guys can see, this really is a big deal because it has multiple shots coming in on it. And especially Philip Morris having to deal with this. I'm sure this is definitely not the first time they've ever had to deal with something like this. So now to really focus on the Cozen OConnor aspects, and here we go. It says, we are pleased that after a lengthy and careful analysis, a law firm with the patent litigation reputation and strength of Cozen OConnor will be enforcing our patent rights, said Jeff Holman, CEO of HCMC. There's some significant words that were used in this entire little segment I just gave you. It is the fact that they said reputation and strength. I think that stands out significantly and really kind of backs and really supports what I was talking about earlier. I do not feel a company like Cozen OConnor, I do not feel a law firm like Cozen OConnor takes on a case knowing that they're going into it with their reputation on the line, knowing that there's a chance they could lose after really going through and evaluating all the information, all the patents that they have, everything, and not know that they're at least going to get some form of a settlement. I just don't see that happening, and why I think that this is a very significant piece. It says, Mr. Holman concluded, we look forward to proving our allegations of infringement in this matter and intend to continue to move forward against any and all companies that infringe upon our intellectual property in both the tobacco and cannabis categories. Another statement that I think is extremely bold, extremely positive, showing confidence. That's what you want to see. And again, it says, we look forward to proving our allegations on infringement in this matter and intend to continue to move forward. So they're going to continue to push. And they're going to get, hopefully what they want out of the entire thing. I'm beyond excited to see what truly comes from this. And I think a ton of you are as well. And that's why you're hopping on board. Because there could be potentially a lot of money involved in this stock if something were to happen in the positive manner for the likes of HCMC. So we're going to talk a little bit about, obviously, the expectations, some of the things that could be, that have the outcome of this entire thing. I know this is the piece that you all are looking forward to, so I'm going to dive right into it. And these are going to be 3 expectations that I have that could potentially be outcomes. So the first one obviously is they lose. They don't get anything. They take it to the point that they can, and they realize that they're not going to win, or they actually go to court and they decide that, hey, Philip Morris actually didn't infringe upon anything, and they actually lose out. Obviously, I feel that could potentially hurt the company as well, because then they have to pay out for going to that far, to court and doing all that. This company already does not have the best of books, and so that's a negative outcome, but it could potentially happen. Now, the next one is going to be a settlement, and I think I'm going to provide a piece of information I found. I don't feel that is accurate by any means. I don't think it's a credible source by any means. It's been going through social media, but the reason why I'm using it and I'm going to reference it is because, in my mind anyways, they were pretty close to some of the numbers that I envisioned actually coming about from a settlement. So I'm going to use it, but like I said, guys, this is by no means anything that's accurate or really a relevant piece of information. I'm just using it as a reference for numbers. So this gentleman says, he's Nick. He says, I work for Cozen OConnor legal team as an associate clerk, and I can confirm that both parties have agreed to a settlement. I don't think that information would have been leaked the way it has. And so that's why I say that this isn't necessarily a credible source. I also don't feel that someone who works for Cozen OConnor would just really provide information that way through a social media aspect without it being a very formal written, piece of information. So I'm not using it, like I said, for this piece. I'm using it for the numbers. So this says Healthier Choices Management will be receiving $1.4 billion or $1.6 billion. Now, I can honestly see that being the case in a settlement, guys. Obviously in that very beginning of this video, the article discussed $3 billion. So it would make sense that a patent infringement of 14 million users of the IQOS, you're talking about half the money, half the revenue that they made. That makes sense. So 1.4 billion to 1.6 billion seems like a pretty decent number, and really seems kind of like a realistic number too. It says Philip Morris has also agreed to a 12% royalty going forward, and has also purchased 10 of the 40 patents. Now, this is a major piece. The reason I think that this is extremely important is because this becomes a game changer on how you view the stock well after this. And so my thoughts behind that are, do you intend to hold this just to hear the settlement, the decision for it to go to court, or are you planning on making this a long-term hold well beyond this? And I think that that's where you start to understand that if they get a royalty going forward every time an IQOS device from Philip Morris is sold, that is revenue that is kicked back to HCMC. That changes it for me personally, because if that is honestly what comes from a settlement or a decision that is made in court, that is what then starts to generate revenue for this company in a very positive direction, especially if they've only had, or if they already have 14 million users. That's only going to continue to increase. And you're going to see why I mean that, because of a Philip Morris article that just came out the other day talking about smokeless tobacco, talking about vape devices. So that is a key piece right there. One of the pieces it also says is it purchased 10 of the 40 patents. So I think that really right there is a big time deal as well, because they're giving up the rights to have those patents, which is a significant piece. And so it'll be interesting to see. It says that would be for an additional $260 million. Now that is another intriguing piece, because that is a lot of money, and the books that obviously HCMC are nowhere near $260 million, let alone getting the $1.4 or $1.6 billion. So this is really a major thing to think about, as a settlement piece. Now, taking it a step further, let's say that they don't decide to settle and they want to take it to court. I think that you're going to kind of see some of these numbers get ramped up a little bit. And the reason I say that is because it could get closer to $2 billion. It may even get closer to the $3 billion, because you're talking about taking it all the way to court. And I could still continue to see that they agree upon a 12% royalty, guys. I think that's a big time piece. And I think that that's going to change my mindset from being a hold until the court case, or changing it to a long-term, position. So I'm really kind of intrigued to see how that happens. And that's really going to dictate on how I decide to hold the position myself. So to really wrap this all together, I'm going to provide you an article that was put out on Philip Morris and their smoke-free products, turning it into a billion-dollar business by 2025. And I think that is a significant piece and really going to make you understand the significance of the revenue and the money that obviously HCMC could go get from the likes of Philip Morris in this lawsuit. So here we go. It says Philip Morris International has set a target of at least $1 billion in net revenue for its Beyond Nicotine products by 2025. That would make the Marlboro parent smoke-free and Beyond Nicotine products the majority of its total net revenue. The goal was announced ahead of the company's investor event on Wednesday, which was this Wednesday. It says Philip Morris also said that it would launch the IQOS Illuma, Illuma, the next version of its heated tobacco system. In the second half of this year, the IQOS Vive e-vapor product will launch in more than 20 markets this year. So right there, guys, you're starting to see this thing take over the IQOS, which is what the lawsuit is for. It says that they aims to commercialize IQOS products in 100 markets by 2025, up from 64 at the end of 2020. As for cigarette sales, Philip Morris thinks that it is the right condition. They can end most countries in 10 to 15 years. It continues to say later on as they go down, it says, we are now embarking on our next growth phase, further shifting to be better, more sustainable business by driving the development of smoke-free category and leveraging our leading commercial model, which places the consumer at the core. So right there, a major piece that you're hearing is it says the leading commercial model, and that's the IQOS. Obviously, there's different branches of the IQOS or different models of the IQOS, but it's still the fact that it's the IQOS, and that's what they're targeting. I think this is all very significant information in this lawsuit, especially if Philip Morris is seeing, a vision for it down the road. So it makes sense why this company is going after them in a lawsuit form. And as an investor or someone who is trying to get involved with this, it only makes sense as well. Now we have come to my favorite part of any video, and that is chart breaking down time. So let's swing on over here and check out HCMC and see what it's all about. So this is a 1 week chart. It opened at less than a penny. It got as high as basically 4. Its low was 4. Its volume is 3.135 billion. Market cap is 446.7 million. 52-week high is 0.05. 52-week low is a clean 0. And its average volume is 553.6 million. So today, it was up to 25% and it closed at 0.04. So as you guys can see, this is a 1 week chart. And it's really had a major run. The hype is getting involved, like I said. Social medias are starting to run rampant. I even saw that there was a Reddit on there. Like I said, YouTubers are talking about it. I'm presenting it to you guys. Like, it is all over the place. And so this is drawing attention. People are starting to become a lot more aware of what the lawsuit is about. People are doing their due diligence. They're diving in. They're seeing who Cozen OConnor is and that they're one of the best, if not the best, patent infringement law firms that are out there. I mean, they're starting to see everything that is really being unveiled about this entire thing. And so, of course, people are going to start buying the stock, getting involved, and waiting to see really the outcomes, whether it is pushed back or if they end up agreeing upon a settlement or they actually take it all the way and go to court. It's just going to be kind of exciting to see as an investor. And there truthfully is a lot of money that is going to be going in from a lot of different people to get into this stock. So I really wanted to provide this information to you guys for sure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and hopefully you enjoyed kind of the perspective I provided, whether it is, they lose, they get a settlement, or they win the case outright. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that because I wanted to provide just a different thing than what I felt everyone else was doing. I do want to remind you guys, I am not a financial advisor, and anything I say in this video is for pure entertainment purposes only, and that's exactly what I'm here to do, is entertain. I do want to remind you guys, again, this is a penny stock. This is an OTC stock. They are very risky plays. As you guys can see, there is a lot riding on this penny stock, and so I just want to remind you guys, they are very risky plays. And you guys know how I do it. If you like this video, smash that like button. It helps out tremendously. And if you enjoy the content, because I'm going to keep the content flowing, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, have a good day.